Hello friends, good morning to you all. My name is Harshit Dwivedi. So today I will discuss Indian Council Act of 1909. So maybe many of us don't know that the Indian Council Act of 1909 was also famously known as the Minto-Morley reforms or the Morley-Minto reforms. So at that time, Lord Morley was the Secretary of State of India and Lord Minto was the then Viceroy of India. So this Indian Council Act of 1909 or the Morley-Minto reforms made considerable changes that had the potential of changing the administrative scenario of the country to a huge extent. So in 1906, Lord Morley, who was then the Secretary of State for Indian Affairs, announced in the British Parliament that his government wanted to introduce new reforms for India, in which the locals and the natives of India were to be given more power in the legislative and political affairs of the country. With this, a series of correspondences and addresses were exchanged between him, that is between Lord Morley, the Secretary of State of Indian Affairs, and Lord Minto, who was then the Viceroy of India. A committee was then appointed by the Government of India to propose a scheme of reforms. When the committee submitted its report, and when that report got the approval of Lord Minto and Lord Morley, the Act of 1909, that is the Indian Council Act of 1909, was passed by the British government, by the British Parliament. So this Indian Council Act of 1909 is very commonly also known as Minto-Morley reforms. And here I will state some of the most important characteristics features of the Indian Council Act of 1909. So the very first feature of the Morley-Minto reforms was that the strength of the Central Legislative Council and the Provincial Legislative Councils was increased considerably. That is, the number of members of the Legislative Council at the centre was increased from 16 to 60. That is from 16 to 60. Also, the strength of the Provincial Legislative Council was also increased. So, in case of Provincial Legislative Council, the members in each of the Provincial Legislative Council was not uniform or same. It was different. So it was fixed at 50 in the provinces of Bengal, Bombay and Madras. And for rest of the provinces, the strength of the Legislative Council was 30. So the strength of the Bengal Presidency Provincial Council, the Madras Presidency Provincial Council and the Bombay Presidency Provincial Council was 50, and for the Legislative Council of rest of the provinces, the strength was 30. Also, one important fact to see here was that there was a majority of official members in the Central Legislative Council. That is, the number of non-official members in the Central Legislative Council was less than the number of official members. While in the Provincial Legislative Council, it was the opposite. That is, that in the Provincial Legislative Council, non-official members would be in majority. That is, the official members were to form the majority at the center, but in the provinces, non-official members would have to form the majority. The second most important feature of this Indian Council Act of 1909, that is the Minto-Morley reforms, was that the deliberative function of the legislative councils at both the central and state level were significantly and considerably increased. That is, the members of legislative council were permitted to discuss the budgets, they were permitted to suggest the amendments and even to vote on them or to pass a resolution on them. They were also allowed to ask supplementary questions during the legislative proceedings. So a whole lot of powers were given to them, which was not given to them in the previous acts. Also, recognition was given to the local representation, that is, the representation of presidency corporations, chambers of commerce, district boards, universities, zamindars, trade associations, etc. These local bodies were given separate representation. Now, after looking at these features, one more feature is remaining, which we can say was one of the most important feature or landmark decision in the history of all the acts made by the British government in India. And that is why Lord Minto is famous as the father of communal electorate. Through this, a system of communal representation for Muslims by accepting the concept of separate electorate. That is, the right of separate electorate was given to the Muslims. Under this, the Muslim members were to be elected only by the Muslim voters. Thus, indirectly, communalism and religionism was legalized by the British government. However, this act was criticized by many scholars as they thought that this particular process and this particular system of introducing separate electorate will encourage communalism and will further separate the two main communities of India, that is the Hindus and the Muslims. Obviously, if there will be a distribution of powers, then there is bound to be an interference and a feeling of dividing or separation will occur. However, many scholars suggested that this act of communal electorate should be repealed immediately. So, these were the main important acts of the Minto-Morley reforms. I hope you like this lecture. In my next lecture, I will tell you about the Government of India Act of 1919. So friends, thank you for listening this audio tutorial. We'll meet soon. Hello friends. Good morning.